Good morning everyone, today we're checking out a brand new video from Progmagic of making a snake Pokemon of every type. Reason being, as you can see on screen, in 2025 is indeed the year of the snake. Let's hop in and see how these serpents slither on screen.
It's the year of the snake, so obviously that means we need to see what a snake Pokemon of every type might look like. Hey everyone, Brandon here. So we have 8 types covered by existing snake Pokemon.
Awesome.
9 if you count Milotic or Huntail as snakes, with Huntail being based on a viper fish. But if you want a more traditional snake, look no further than the water starter from the Devar region, Splasp, and its evolutions, Wave Viper and Vasunami. They are all based on sea snakes, and the Hindu king of snakes, Vasuki. The bubble on Splasp's tail is used to store water or venom, which is later blasted at opponents. That potential expands with Wave Viper, who now has these bubbles on the sides of its head that can inflate with water to intimidate opponents. And those bubbles take a lethal turn when it evolves into Vasunami, as they are filled with extremely toxic venom that is
I like how we gained arms.
released upon an opponent, puncturing them with a bite or slash.
Nice.
Hey, so editing Brandon here. I am just now realizing that Vasunami is a Pokemon manifestation of the character Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh my god, because it's a cobra with bubbles. Holy shit, Brandon, way to go.
It is a Cobra with bubbles. How did I not see this before? If you want to learn more about this line and the other starters of Devar, click the link in the card or the description.
Yeah,
and while
check
you're
it
down
out.
there, go ahead and hit like and subscribe.
It was really
because
cool,
I'm a silly
fun.
little cartoon character on your screen showing you cool snake Pokemon. So like, why wouldn't you? Let's continue the starter snake train with Hesir from Michael Ryan's Liwika region. This small and scrappy serpent spits searing shots to singe opponents and scare predators. It evolves into La Viper, who is always prepared to strike even though it looks tame, and its potent venom can immobilize foes. And then finally La Viper evolves into Colbra. Its scorching flames are equally powerful to its venomous bite, which both are only reinforced by its shifting and mesmerizing movements. This line is based on the King Cobra and Egyptian pharaohs, tying together the royalty aspect of both. And with that, we have a full snake starter trio, including Snivy. I could totally imagine them as the starters in some kind of Legend-style game. And if you want your mobile game style to be legendary, then let me point you to today's sponsor, Red Magic. Red Magic has just released their newest phone, the Red Magic 10 Air, an optimized gaming experience that you can fit in the palm of your hand. The Red Magic 10 Air was specifically created for mobile gaming, boasting a 120Hz 6.8-inch Full HD AMOLED display with a 93.7% screen-to-body ratio, 2000Hz instant touch sampling rate, and the largest battery in its class, providing 28 hours of everyday use. And with fast charging that only takes 52 minutes to go from 0% to a full charge, you can spend less time charging and more time gaming. Speaking of, you can game even better with Red Magic's blazing fast chipset, with the latest version of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 GPU, which are boosted by the Red Magic's Energy Cube, Red Magic's dedicated gaming chip, the Red Core R3, LPDDR5X RAM, and UFS 4.0 storage, which are all intelligently optimized for power and efficiency. The Red Magic 10 Air is also more compact than ever, being 10% thinner and lighter than the Red Magic 10 Pro. You can try out games like Pokemon Unite, Fortnite, Minecraft, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail for an unrivaled mobile gaming experience.
What about anything else?
So make sure to go check out the Red Magic 10 Air using my link in the description. And thank you so much to Red Magic for sponsoring today's video.
Well, I hope those people enjoy it.
For the fairy type, we have none other than Madoot, the poison look Pokemon, Gorkadel, the glamorous Pokemon, and Venomusa, the poisonous beauty Pokemon, who are all fairy poison types from Trainer Mass's Arcadia region. They are all based on the infamous Medusa from Greek mythology. Madoot secretes a poison capable of paralyzing opponents, while Gorkadel uses sinuous movements to charm them. Venomusa's speed and attack strength are terrifying to those facing it, and it feeds off the fear of those who are paralyzed to make itself even stronger. This is actually their special ability called Gorgon's Power, which increases their attack and special attack if they're fighting a Pokemon that is paralyzed. This also furthers the Medusa reference.
Useful.
For the dark and electric types, we have a few legendary snakes that I've made in the past. One being Hydreigon from the Cornero region, and Polanguis with its multiple forms that I just introduced in the previous video on this channel. Hydreigon is a dark water type and is based on the Uktena from Cherokee folklore, a horned serpent that is associated with
that thing is awesome.
The underworld and storms. Hydreigon floods any land it touches, destroying plant life, small towns, and even entire ecosystems.
Oh god.
And in the same stormy vein, Polanguis is either electric water, pure electric, or electric fire type depending on which form it's in, being based on the rainbow serpent from Aboriginal folklore, sometimes called the Thunder Serpent. Polanguis' many forms have wrought destruction across Ensum. It had to be sealed away to prevent it from destroying the region completely. To learn more about its lore, make sure to watch
Yeah,
the
go
Ancient
check out
Legion
that
series
video.
here on the channel. Now let's move on to some slithery serpents I had made just for this video. I worked with the wonderfully talented Trainer Rex on all of these designs, so make sure to check out their link in the description. So first up, we have the bug type. Caterpillars, sometimes called worms, are basically the snakes of the insect kingdom, with some even mimicking the faces of snakes to avoid predation.
I was just about to say, kind of.
The actual annelid worms, though they aren't insects, are generally associated by many with the term bug. Oh boy, I can hear the internet entomologist typing now. Anyway, I saw this little guy called the bearded fireworm, and it reminded me of those Chinese dragon or lion puppets used in dances and parades.
Oh,
there are
those
also
are really
many
nice.
hairy worms that could be substituted for the fireworm, for those who really care about insectoid correctness. With that said, here is our bug-type snake, which I have named
it's so
Slitherm,
cute.
the worm Pokemon. This little cutie has this cape-like bunch of hairs or bristles on its side that protect it from bird Pokemon, as they cause a stinging sensation on contact. So as much as I'm sure you want to cuddle Slitherm, I advise against it. Static would definitely be a good ability to reinforce this idea. Either that or Poison Touch, but I'm wanting to lean less towards the venomous side of things as we have plenty of that in this video already. Slitherm, if leveled up while holding a dragon scale, evolves into Terrorm, the false face Pokemon,
that's good.
a bug dragon type. So remember those caterpillars that emulate a snake's face? Well, this is a bug snake that emulates a dragon's face, making itself the puppeteer of those dragons I talked about earlier, while also hiding its true face with its draconic maw, making it look far more intimidating than it actually is. But who am I kidding? This thing is scary without the false face too. A giant bug snake? No thank you. Anyway, I just had to sneak in the pun of this line being worm,
like a Titanoboa,
but also worms, the serpentine type of dragon, so you can see it in the names going from ending in ORM to YRM. Terrorm lives up to its name, being a terrifyingly large serpent to behold, following the weak-looking thing suddenly becoming a terrifying monstrosity trope seen in a few Pokemon, which is honestly one of my favorite tropes. Terrorm prefers to remain inside of caves, hiding from bird Pokemon, somehow still afraid of them despite its now enormous size. When Terrorm does leave its cave, bird Pokemon are now afraid of it, fleeing as swiftly as possible. Not only is Terrorm terrifying in stature and appearance, but it also uses those bristles on its tail to paralyze its opponents, which is its signature move, Stun Tail, a base 50 dragon-type physical attack that has a 50% chance of paralyzing the opponent. Basically a weaker physical version of Dragon Breath, but with a higher paralyzation rate. For the Psychic type, we have a lot of snakes, but only a couple of them are object Pokemon, so I wanted to channel that in a way that felt authentic to the type. So allow me to introduce Scryper, the scrying Pokemon, a pure Psychic type. This flat fellow is definitely pondering its orb, as it's based on crystal balls and the velvety material that they rest on. That velvet connection,
but that is so cute, I want to give it a hug,
also follows through to the type of snake they are based on, the Velvet Swamp Snake, that can get pretty flat themselves. Scryper uses its tail to see the future of prey it plans to consume, predicting whether or not it will be a challenge to capture said Pokemon. Fortune tellers across the Pokemon world are usually found with a Scryper by their side. Fortunes told using Scryper as a focus are said to always come true, whether good or bad. And, say it with me now, Scryper knows scrying! And for our ghost type of the video, at level 28, Scryper evolves into Clairvoyant, the medium Pokemon, a psychic ghost type. Clairvoyant have consumed the crystal ball tail of their pre-evolution, giving them the ability to see into the spirit realm, both of humans,
so it was part of its tail, now it's eating it,
and Pokemon alike. Channeling spirits using a crystal ball is a very well-known practice, but that's not the only aspect of this Pokemon. With it being so velvety, it looks a bit like a puppet, which spirit mediums become puppets for whatever spirit they are channeling through their body. Clairvoyant is also based on a creature from Andean and Incan mythology called Amaru. It is serpentine and chimeric in nature. It has crystalline eyes and is seen as a symbol of wisdom, traveling between the boundaries of the spirit realm and our own. That sure sounds fitting for a psychic ghost type to me. It swallowing its own tail is of course a reference to the Ouroboros, a symbol of eternity and rebirth, like the afterlife Clairvoyant can peer into. Needless to say, Clairvoyant would definitely learn moves like Foresight or Future Sight, and would have abilities like Forewarn and Telepathy. That is actually not the only part ghost type snake in this video. So for our ice type, we have Pythical, the snow snake Pokemon. This slippery serpent is an
Hold on, I know he's probably going to point it out, but look at the tail. It looks like it's another snake biting onto it, but it's probably like ice that's being shedded off.
Ghost type, as I alluded to, and is based on a few types of snakes. There are leucistic ball pythons that
actually, it also kind of looks like the shape of the Nevermelt ice.
Match the coloration of an ice type, and the recently discovered ghost snake, which was initially found in Madagascar in 2016 inside a lime rock formation. Pythical is also based on snow snakes, a mythological creature born from a prank. Unexplained markings in fresh snow would be attributed to this highly venomous and heavily camouflaged serpent, with it being pure white like the snow. Its typing is actually the subject of a prank in the Pokemon world. Experienced trainers will tell newbies that Pythical is part poison type, which they believe at first given it is a snake Pokemon and it resists that type, only for them to be confused once it attacks with Phantasmal Might. Pythical is also based on snow snakes. Wait, I feel like I just said this. Oh yeah, that's because Snow Snake is also a game played by Native Americans in which they will throw a long wooden pole, called a snow snake, down a snow-tracked path, trying to see who can throw it the furthest. And as you can see from Pythical's design and name, it is also based on icicles, with its icy shed skin looking like them, and playing into its partial ghost typing even further. Its name also sounds like you were saying Pycicle with a lisp, which many snakes across cartoons and other media have some form of lisp or other speech impediment. I'm thinking Pythical could learn a few poison-type moves to further the prank side of things. And maybe it could even get a new ability which I think could be called Serpentine or Venomous, that works like Steelworker but for poison-type moves, effectively giving new trainers every reason to believe it to be part poison-type, but getting super frustrated when their ground or psychic-type moves aren't doing super effective damage. Heck, you could even give it Prankster as a hidden ability, which just makes this the prank Pokemon to end all prank Pokemon.
It is a prank.
Next, we move on to the fighting type. Once again, I wanted to channel that energy of the object Pokemon, so I thought, you know what tons of people mistake for snakes? Rope. So allow me to introduce Kalbra, the loop-tail Pokemon, a pure fighting type. Yep, that's a cowboy snake, partner. Taking "there's a snake in my boot" to a whole new level. The way Kalbra's tail is tied is an Emperor's snake knot, which had me thinking royal, so we mixed in a bit of the King Cobra with its cowboy hat and name. Kalbra is actually also used when climbing mountains, as its tail and elastic body assist climbers greatly. The Emperor's snake knot you most often see in those survival paracord bracelets or lanyards. Kalbra will lasso its prey or foes from far distances, playing tug-of-war with their target to assert dominance. That would be its new signature move, Lasso Tail, which traps the Pokemon in battle and pulls their focus to Kalbra, acting like a fusion of Wrap and Follow Me without the damage. I could most definitely see Kalbra being in Cornera or in Ore if they had original Pokemon. Make sure to let me know which snakes were your favorite in this video. Thank you so much to our incredible members whose names you can see for going the extra mile to support this channel, which you can also—
Oh wow, well, already done. Felt like a short video. Kind of was. Alright everyone, well, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. A link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Until then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.